At this point, I would usually make a big, quippy, crazy intro telling you what I've been up to this week and telling you what I'm going to be talking about in today's episode of Monday Madness. And while later on in this video, I am going to be showing you some of the things that I've been working on, I do want to just take this opportunity to mention that there are some terrible things going on in the world right now, in multiple places. And because of that, I really struggled with deciding what to bring you for this episode of Monday Madness, because it was supposed to be the last week of Pride Month, and I was supposed to be bringing you something joyful and happy and full of pride. And to be honest, I really don't feel like doing that anymore. I don't feel very full of pride. I don't feel very happy with the current state of the world. And so instead, I'm going to bring you a compilation of the things that I have been working on. And I guess I shouldn't really say too much more about what's happening in the world because there are other people far more qualified than me to talk about it. But I just want to mention that that is how I'm feeling right now, and therefore I will have a lack of my usual chaotic vim and vigor, as it were. So please enjoy the rest of this video. I hope it brings you a speck of entertainment in these very, very crappy times. Actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm not gonna not say anything because my channel's not about politics. You know what? I'm gonna actually say what I really think for a change. Because it doesn't matter. Because if you disagree with me, I don't want you here anyway. There is no such thing as pro-life. There is only pro-choice and anti-choice. And if you are against a person's right to decide what happens with their own body and their own future, then you are anti-choice. You're not pro-life. Because the amount of suffering that you forcing a decision onto someone else causes, that's not pro-life. Pro-life would be trying to stamp out poverty all over the world. Pro-life would be encouraging everyone to be able to get an education all over the world, no matter where they come from. Pro-life would be loving and supporting everyone, no matter what their gender or sexuality. Pro-life would mean you were actually trying to do something to help the homeless. Pro-life would mean that you were trying to do something about all these children in foster care in the system who have nowhere to go and no one to love them. Because guess what? They were born. Because that's what you want, isn't it? Pro-life. It's you want children, but you don't know what to do with them once they're born. To quote the Joker, you're like a dog chasing a car, but you don't know what to do when you've got it. They're great when they're not here yet, when they're a hypothetical that you can argue for because that's morally right. Is it though? Is it morally right and pro-life to bring someone into this world to an unwilling parent who cannot support them or does not want them, or both? And who potentially had to have them when they were conceived in the most horrific of circumstances. And even if they weren't, the fact that they are not wanted should be enough to make you not want to force them to be here. But no, you don't care. You want them to be here no matter what. So what are you doing after that? You're pro-life. So what are you doing to support life? And I try to understand other people so much. I give people the benefit of the doubt so many times. I want to hear what the opposition is saying. I want to hear different bits of discourse. I want to have an argument out. I want to disagree. I want to understand where people are coming from. But in this, not a clue. Nothing that any pro-lifer has ever said to me has ever made any kind of sense. And it never will. Because you don't make sense. Because what you're trying to do is control what other people do, which has nothing to do with you. So what you've chosen to fight for is the easiest fight, because it's so easy to fight for something that doesn't exist. It's so easy to fight for a hypothetical. You're fighting on behalf of nothing. You're giving a voice to nothing. This is one of those situations where you're choosing what's easy over what is right. It's so easy. It's so easy to fight for a hypothetical, for something that isn't there, because you can always pretend that you're right, because nothing is what you're fighting for, and therefore nothing is going to correct you. So you get to feel like you're fighting for something when actually you're fighting for nothing, and you're hurting everyone else in the world by doing it. But hey, why should I expect you to care? You care more about literal nothing than you do everyone else in the world around you. And I wish I felt sorry for you, but instead, I'm just really infuriated by your general existence, to be honest. So maybe I take it all back. Maybe we should celebrate Pride right now. Maybe that's what we need right now. We need as much love as we can muster. So grab all of the love that you can find, all of the love that is building inside you, all the love you can possibly give, and pour it into the world, because we need it. The world needs so much love right now. Show the world so much love, because together we can make this place so much better. We can get past this terrible crap that they are trying to impose upon us, and we can make the world a better place. Trust me to turn this into something positive, but fuck it, we can do it. We can make this a positive, guys. We can do it. But we have to try so hard, and we can't get caught up in being angry and frustrated, which I just did. Yeah. All right. Take the anger, turn it into love, turn it into enthusiasm, turn it into learning and filling your brains with what can we do now. And then hopefully we can fix this. All right. Happy Pride, everyone. Here is a video of me making some crap for my Never Never movie. Also, if you want to support me in my crazy chaotic journey, hit up my Ko-fi and my Patreon. Alright then, Jelly Spoons, here we are again, and today I am making a hook. I don't know how well it's going to go. Basically, the plan is to heat this up and then hot glue the shape onto this that I want, and then wait for it to dry, and then wrap it the fuck up in aluminium foil. We will see. And here he is. What a beaut. Now, I realised where I've messed up, but we're gonna cut it. I realised that it's gonna be real difficult to like roll it up, but it's okay. I'm gonna cut it here, and we're gonna improvise. Improvise, adapt, overcome. And here it is thus far. I like the shape, but it is a tiny bit wobbly. So what I think I'm gonna do next is I might papier mâché it. Papier mâché it. Papier mâché it. I might papier mâché it and then do another layer with the tin foil. Yes. It is only going to be for a flashback sequence, which is going to be in slow motion. So on the one hand, it doesn't need to be too amazing, but on the other hand, when I put it into slow motion, if this is wobbling, it will be really visible in slow motion. So yeah, hang on a sec. It is done. It is heavy. It is solid. No amount of wiggling is making this wobble. Excellent! Alrighty, crazy cats, we're back on the props. Now, sadly, I did not have the time and patience to make my own eggs, so I have purchased some from a hobby craft store. And I have got, well, there's 4 of them, but I think I'm only going to use 3 or 2. In the novel, it says that the Neverbird had 2 eggs. That doesn't necessarily mean that she always only lays 2 eggs, but I kind of want to stick to the source material, so I'm going to do 2. And it also says that they are white eggs, but I want to make mine a little bit more fantasy-esque than that. So I think I really like the texture on these. Like, look, you can't quite see it on the camera, but it looks kind of like dragon scalesy-ish, just with the texture. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some glitter on them, and I'm going to see how they look. I'm going to do it on just one, and potentially I could spray a little bit of silver over the top of that, give it some different colours, or if the glitter looks fine on its own, I'll leave it as sort of white with glitter, but if the glitter looks absolutely abysmal, then I will cover it with loads of other colours, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, let's try this. Uh-oh. I may need 2 hands for this job. Alrighty. So, you cannot really see it on the camera. But there are some sort of like purpley specks of glitter in here. So it looks okay. You definitely can't see it on the camera very well. So I'm going to let it dry and then I'll do another layer and see how it goes. And if not, the egg's moving, then I'll add some silver and some spray like that. Though it is not really taking very well because of the material the polystyrene it's made of. The dog is also here. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. What you doing, huh? What you doing? Hey. Hi, buddy. Alright, so, egg. I will leave you there and come back to you. Yes, dog. Desperate to help, aren't you? Yes, indeed. Alright, egg, we're going to leave you there and we'll come back to you later. Alrighty, today is a busy day, but I found a second to do some sketching ideas because I, like a fool, am adding a Captain Hook flashback sequence. No spoilers, there's going to be a Captain Hook flashback sequence within my movie, and I have already roped in 2 of my friends to play Captain Hook, as in whichever one I can organise schedules with is going to be the one who gets to play Captain Hook. I say gets to, you know, for the reward of, I don't know, pizza or whatever I can give them. I love all my friends, they're helping me with this, it's amazing. So basically, they're both about the same size, so I am going to make a Captain Hook coat, but I'm not going to make it particularly fancy because it is literally only going to be seen in a very fuzzy flashback, and of the Captain Hook that you will see in the footage in the flashback, it is literally going to be mostly the hook. That was a terrible drawing of the hook. I'm looking at this through the screen. It's literally going to be mostly a hook, and then it's going to be like face behind it and stuff like that. The hook would obviously be going the other direction. Hang on, sorry, I'm looking at this through a slightly inverted camera. Yeah, so the hook, that's where it's going to be, and then it's going to be mostly face behind it, and then you're going to have like a bit of the coat coming over the shoulders and stuff like that. And at maximum, oh my god, this is difficult. I'm literally drawing in reverse right now. You might see, like, if that's hook, oh my god, I'm like, it's like got a second's delay as well, so it looks like a chicken, but bear with me. Right hand with the hook. So you see the sort of coat flapping around, that kind of thing. You might see that, maybe. I'm going to film a lot of footage and then put it all together, but predominantly I'm going to see this. So basically, my Captain Hook is not going to be very fancy on the bottom half, but I'm going to make some quite fancy shoulders. And I'm going to steal ideas from myself for my de Todd, I can't pronounce that in German, I'm very sorry, for my de Todd outfit that I made to play my version of the Todd from the Elizabeth musical. But ironically, I wasn't doing the German version because I preferred the Japan version better, so I am going to be stealing from my ideas for my take on the Todd costume from the German Elizabeth musical, but from the Japanese version of that. Oh my god, right, let's just, let's get sketching. And of course, what kind of Peter Pan hobbyist and obsessionist would I be if I did not bring out at least 3 of my own reference books for references. So this over here, this is one of the first ever illustrations of Captain Hook. This is in the first run of the novel, and as you can see, his hair is in ringlets and it's all crazy. Man, I need to get a wig for this character. Bollocks. Alright, we'll see what I've got. Also, just, as a side note, see how small Peter is. Just look how small Peter is in comparison. Now, Hook isn't a massive man. He's, you know, a grown-up man. This is Peter. Peter barely comes up to his waist. Like, Peter is a young boy. I don't know how many times I've had to say this, but Peter is a young boy. He's not on the cusp of being a teenager. He is a boy, a literal child. Anyway, moving on. Also, the hook is on the right hand. Good. This is one of the first costume designs for Captain Hook. Oh, love it. You can see where they took this and put it into the novel as well a little bit. So I really like him being in dark, dusty blue. I really like that. Also, remember Hook served as Blackbeard's bosun. You can see the homage to Blackbeard where he's got all the 6 guns down the side, where Blackbeard has that in a lot of his illustrations as well. I love the sash and everything. Hook's on the correct hand, obviously, because this is the play. And I'm loving the massive hat, but I think I'm going to leave the hat off because he has just been swimming through the water when we're doing the scene that we're doing. Hint, hint, he's been swimming in the water. So I'm going to give him the coat and the white shirt underneath, but I'm not really going to be too bothered about the rest of it. Basically, he could be in just some plain black trousers and some boots because we're really not going to see anything beyond about here. So here's where I'm going to add all the details in. This is another version of Hook that I like, mostly because it's one that I can find a still picture from. I do like the way that the cuffs have different details on them. Again, the hook's on the correct hand. We love this. And I like the frilliness of the shirt, but it might take away from the scene. So I'm going to combine bits of this all together. So, yeah, let's do this. Also, if I may, I'm going to use myself, just to be a little bit obnoxious. Hey dog. I'm going to use myself as a reference. So this is some of my work in progress shots of the almost finalized and finished completed Dear Todd outfit. This is my skull arm, and this I really want to give him. I want to give Hook some extra detailing down the arms, and I think I could do it in hot glue. Even if I don't do a complete skull head, I think I could do him something like this, and that would look very cool. I won't be doing quite so much fringing and stuff like that, but I like this as a concept. And again, you can see how it bends down the arm. I really like stuff like that. I'd probably fix it higher onto his shoulder though. He won't be getting a cape or anything like that, but also I'll probably give him a similar sort of base, so the coat is going to hang down a little bit. I could make it stick out slightly more, like his coat, but it won't be particularly necessary simply because you're really not going to see it. Also, just side note, love this shirt that I made. Those feathers come out really well. So yeah, this is a design I am going to steal from myself. And yeah, I'll see what I can do with this. The dog is helping. Hey buddy. Alright, this is what we've got so far. So, I have based it on a lot of this one because I just fucking love the stage play. And by the way, the more you read, the more you learn. I love this so much. Like, they had a diagram of where the pistols go, and they had exact specifications for what direction the pistol should be pointed in. I love that so much. And there's a hidden pocket here that he's got, and it says things like rusty buckles. So the boots had to have rusty buckles. Like, these are not shiny buckles. He's been, you know, doing a bunch of stuffs. And then you've got things like very sharp for the hook, and the sash should be the color of dry blood. And that I am 100% keeping. But anyway, so this is what we've got so far. So Hook, crazy hair. I'm gonna have to find something for my friend to wear. But anyway, so I've decided to do skulls and crossbones. I've decided to go with the pirate theme with the Jolly Roger. You can see where I've been smudging it. So I'm going to do a skull and crossbones on each of the shoulders, so that no matter what direction you can see it, because on my Jetog costume I have to be pointing in one direction, otherwise it's just really boring. You can just see a plain shoulder. So I'm going to do both shoulders, and I've also decided I'm going to do a little dinky one on each of the cuffs. But these ones I think I'm going to do facing the opposite direction, because then when he's got his hook up, you can see them and they'll be pointed sort of in the right direction, so they'll be facing the right way. So if his hook is pointed downwards, then the skull and crossbones will be pointed down, but when he points it up, which it will be doing on camera, then the skull and crossbones will be the right way up. So that's what I've decided so far, and I've basically ignored the bottom half. It's basically going to be leggings. I think I'll just say shove some leggings on, and I'm going to do the coat. And the bottom, I am going to leave quite plain. If I ever do something with like a proper production where people are going to see the entire coat, then yes, I will decorate the bottom half. But for now, I'm just going to focus on the top half. So yes. Alright, I'm not going to get around to making this just yet because I need to measure my friend completely, but yeah. This is it. This is my design for Captain James Hook thus far. Alright, so I've officially decided I'm going to be making this wig for my friend to play Captain Hook. And I am so happy. So, look at this. This is why I love research. Oh my god, right, so, listen. So, the wig should be made of black chenille or the blackest possible stuff so as to catch no light whatsoever. And the hair curls are uncurled, so it's not like tight ringlets and stuff like that. So comparison to the picture of the novel where there are sort of tight ringlets, the stage one was slightly more bedraggled. Which again is why I really like Jason Isaacs' Captain Hook, because they do stick to this at some points. It's really cool. But anyway, the wig should be made of black chenille or the blackest possible stuff so as to catch no light whatsoever, so that he hasn't got shiny hair, he hasn't got this radiance, he hasn't got this goodness, this, you know, I mean, on a practical level it's so that he doesn't have horrible shiny wiggy hair on a stage, but also to catch no light, so he is like a walking bit of shadow, a bit of dark stuff. I love that so much. So I am 100% going to be using black chenille to make the wig. Alrighty. The entire outfit combined kind of makes me look like I'm an extra on Descendants, but just bear with me. So this is the very bare bones of the Hook coat that I have made thus far. It is swishy. I will try and put you down somewhere so that I can show you how swooshy it is. Alright, you stay right there while I swoosh. Hang on. There's fabric in the way. Of course, this is my house. Of course, there's always fabric in the way. I shall pile you on top of my pile of Peter Pan things. There we go. How's that? Please don't fall. I don't have the money to replace my phone right now. Alright, so, hello fam. There we go. Alrighty, so bare bones, Captain Hook coat. As I said before, I'm not using my best fabric for this, not because I don't love Captain Hook, but because no one's going to see most of this outfit, but I still need to create the whole thing, because if I just create the top half, I will go insane. So he's got swooshy wishy bottom half. I have added in two massive extra triangle pouch. I have added in two mahoosive extra triangle sections here. So 1, 2. So it's swooshy, which also helps because the back piece was the only piece that I had left, and it tails off at the bottom because I didn't have quite enough. So the swoosh really helps, and here's the extra on the other side as well. So there we go, and it's not actually going to close in the middle. I'll make it so that it can, but actually I want it to sit. So it's almost going to be folded a bit like this, and you're going to see the shirt and the sash and things like that. So here is the full swoosh. The full swoosh. Alrighty, so I'm happy enough with that. I'm not going to sew it right now though because it is approaching midnight and I have neighbours, and although one of my neighbours has a child that likes to scream at 2 AM, I am a nice Mauku and I'm not going to use my sewing machine. I could hand sew it, but I'm not gonna. This is again a fast project and I want it to be quite fast. So I am probably going to map out the sleeves and then probably draw the skull and crossbones shape so I can see how big I want to do them on the sleeves. And yeah, wish me luck. Well, I now have a pile of 2 sleeves and the bare bones of the coat. And this is how much fabric I have left. And I'm not gonna lie, I have had this fabric for a while. This was just... I keep getting black fabric. Originally I got it to be part of my Todd cosplay, but I ended up not using it because the fabric I used was better and nicer. This is more... It's very generic. It would be very easy to make sort of bed sheets out of. It's definitely very sort of duvet sheet material, so it's quite thin. It's not amazing. But for a project like this, it's absolutely fine. And I've just had it sort of sitting around for a while, so I'm quite glad that I have used most of it, to be honest. So we're here. Collecting noises, aren't we? The problem is this one keeps panting. So we've had to do some rigging up to make sure that we can get some footage without this one panting all the way through it. Not that I don't want to listen to you panting all day, but like, listen to this. So you've got all this lovely birdsong going on. Meanwhile, this. The panting. But it's alright, I think we've got some usable footage, don't we, buddy? We got some usable footage, and you never know, maybe there can be a part of the Neverland that has a panty dog in it. There's always a place for Troy. And to bring just a tiny little bit of calm to this video, I have not finished the hook coat yet, so I can't show you that, but I can bring you some ASMR for the Neverland, which is the background noise that I will be using in my Never Never movie project. So I might upload it as a separate video as well, but for now, please enjoy a few minutes of just nice Neverland-ish. Not quite finished doing all the layering of sound, but just enjoy this.